Hey everybody, it's John. Today's active self-protection extra lesson. I'm here with a new friend. His name is Ricky, and he's here training with us this weekend at the Southwest Action Intensive here at Attitude First. So Ricky, thanks for coming and being a part. I want to talk about the leveraging arm. I get a lot of people that ask me about questions about the leveraging arm. Now let's see what the leveraging arm is here. Okay, so the leveraging arm, if I have a knife that is long held, all right, if I have a knife long held, what I see all the time is this bad guy reaches out, grabs a hold of me. Now he has me leveraged, okay? So he uses this for leverage to keep me here and frickin' stab me to death until he's done with me, okay? And now I don't see that in a short held like this. So ice pick grip, you know, that way, because what happens is that if he holds me like this, when he does that, then guess what he's doing? He's stabbing his own handy. And that's bad. So I don't see that in those instances. They come this way. Now, occasionally, I don't see the leveraging arm with the knife long held. He just reaches out. Now, almost always, that's when the knife is hidden and he wants to surprise attack with it, boom, like this, then he doesn't leverage. But if he's mad at you and he really wants you to know, grab a hold of you, hold you tight. Now, that's different if I put the knife away, put this knife back here in the back, if he has a gun out. Okay, again, just a training tool. So if he has a gun out, what tends to happen, and I see this all the time, is now a gun doesn't use a leveraging arm all that much. He goes, yo, man, give me your stuff. And he sticks this gun out here in front. And Ricky's like, hey, man, I don't want any problem from your big hunk of yellow plastic. Okay, but if he does use a leveraging arm, what he does not do, and I do see this fairly regularly, is if he's trying to threaten you with it, but he's worried that you might take it away from him, then what I see is he puts his hand on you, not to hold you and pin you here, but to keep you off him. Because here's what happens now. So if Ricky has a hold of the gun and I go like this, and if he doesn't do that, but he instead will hold the gun and he pushes it out here in front of me, then what I see happen all the time is that now we can be in a fight for this gun pretty quick, right? So I'm not talking about gun disarms today. We're not talking about ninja fu gun disarms. They're not that hard. But we're not talking about that today. What I'm talking about is if he goes, hey man, I'm worried about you taking that. If he puts the leveraging arm on me to hold me away, now he's put up a barrier. And now I got to go, oh noes. Now, if I try to go, now I see this all the time. Now, if we do this slowly and I just decide I'm going to go for that gun, what is he going to do with that gun? He's going to either shoot me with it, or if I'm the bad guy here, and let's do this left-handed so you can see, and he decides he still wants to go for that gun, I push him away and pull the gun away, and now I shoot him. This is what I see happen on video again and again and again. So we got to decide, how are we going to deal with the leveraging arm? And it's different depending on whether or not it is a gun or a knife and what the intent is, okay? So let's think about the problem with the gun. Everything we try to do at active self-protection has to have logic, right? Our 5 general principles, our 5 larger principles: attitude, awareness, logic, margin, simplicity. This is all that we want all the time: attitude, awareness, logic, margin, and simplicity in everything that we do. Okay, so let's think about this. Now I'm going to let Ricky solve problems a little bit and be extemporaneous. So if this guy's got a gun on me and he decides, hey man, I don't want that. Now I know pretty quick, if I just go for that gun, then he's just going to push me off and pull it back away from me, and now he gets distance from me and shoots me with his gun. Now, a lot of times what I see is people kind of half-hearted, they paw, right? So if he puts this gun out here and he just kind of like, hey, man, leave me alone. Ah, no, back up. And now he either shoots me with it, or he goes, no, man, get off me, and now he stays at distance. Well, at this distance, he can't do anything. But actually, he's doing me a favor if he pulls it here. But there's a couple problems with the gun. So if he puts his hand on me here, here's what I know. I do know he's not using this to hold on to me, unless he's decided to grab a hold of me to move me somewhere, okay? So sometimes that'll happen. But if he hasn't done that, he's using this as a barrier, not as a holder in place. So it is a leveraging arm to keep me at distance. So let's think about, how am I going to solve this problem? If I'm not careful, here's what I do. I go, well, my best case scenario is I reach out and grab a hold of this so he can't pull it away from me. So he tries to pull away from me, but he can't. So guess what he does next?
Light you up.
He freaking shoots me with the stupid thing. So I got to work on my 5Ds plus 1. Yes, I control the distance, but if I don't deflect and get that barrel away from me, now I'm going to have problems. I can do this, though. So I can go out here. It is a situation where I could, if I had to. Oh, man, here comes this stuff. Boom, and I pin it into him. Now I've controlled that muzzle, and yes, the gun's going to go off. Go ahead, dude, shoot yourself. I don't care. But I'm still dealing with this problem here, which is this leveraging arm. So my best bet here is I have to recognize very quickly that I have to defeat this leveraging arm and then get into that, right? So how am I going to do that? I can't paw. I can't paw and I can't play games. Now, in martial arts, I'm going to tell you, this is going to go where my logic comes from. So here's what I'm seeing here is that first thing is, normally in martial arts, I like working on this side, outside of him. I like working to his back. Why do I like working to his back? Why do you think you like working to the back of your opponent?
I can't see you.
Because he can't see me and his tools don't go that way. But the problem is when I'm in a weaponized environment is I go, oh, look, he can't hit me except for he can turn real fast and put that muzzle on me and shoot me. So I have to make a decision here that what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to actually move you this way so we can see you a little bit better, Ricky, is I actually understand that in this rare instance, I'm working to the inside and I have to work to the inside. And here's what I want to do. I just want to clear this arm and get it out of the way. And I don't really care how I do that. So if my hands are down, I can clear it up and I don't care. Yeah, he hit me in the face with that. That sucks. If my hands are up, I clear it out and I got to get this muzzle off me. Okay, I got to get this muzzle away from me. Now that could be a couple of ways. Again, if you notice he's keeping this in fairly tight. Well, guess what I recognize? Hey man, I don't want any problems with you. Boom, here I go. Now he's going to want real fast to not have that gun there. I'm going to grab a hold of that barrel for everything I got, and at least now I'm in a fight for the gun. Now, who's winning this fight right this second?
Seems to be you.
You see, I turned the tables pretty fast because number one, you're really thinking about this gun. Even with your finger on the trigger, which again, I'm not gonna break your hand or move it around, so don't worry about that. Even with his finger on the trigger, if he pulls the trigger, I fouled this gun and now it's not in the fight anymore. Okay, cool, I know that, that's going down. Okay, I'm cool with that. He does have this hand to get back up in the fight. If he punches me in the face, am I better off punched in the face or shot in the face? Punched in the face. Hey, look at that. See how the logic works? So again, with a leveraging arm that's not being used to pin me, I'm not worried about him holding on to me so that the parry out of the way gets me into this pretty quick. Now I can, dang, take that freaking gun away from him. That was a bad disarm, but you get my point. Okay, now we're in a fight for this gun. I take it away from him. I chamber it, I use it, whatever. Okay, now let's just say I have the gun in concealment. Here it is in my normal appendix position. My bad guy has a knife. Next problem. Now let's take a look and think about this problem. Again, now if he decides to use this as a leveraging arm. Now what's he going to do? Now you notice the difference. He grabbed a hold and he held on to me. Why did he do that?
So that I can pull you in.
Let's think about the difference in the tool. This is a distance tool. So I want to keep you at?
Distance.
At distance. This is a contact tool, which means you want to keep me at?
Close distance.
Contact. See how that works? Again, the logic, right? So now I got to work against that. So the first thing that I got to recognize here is he's trying to hold on to me with this. But now if I work to the inside here, guess what my problem is here? Every time he touches me with that knife, what's going to happen?
You're going to bleed.
I'm going to bleed, right? And I don't want to bleed. Bleeding sucks. So where do I want to get against a knife?
It's the back.
Against the gun, I had to work to the inside because I needed to control the muzzle. I can't leave it out there in space. If I get to his back here and away from this, okay, so he's still got a hold of me, but I'm away from that. Can he turn and hit me with that knife right now? He can if I don't do anything about it, but he has to turn back into me. If I stay out here at his back, he can't get me with that knife. I don't care that that knife is way outside. I really don't. And the reason that I don't is because it's only got a very short contact. It has to touch me to hurt me. The gun doesn't have to touch me to hurt me. So again, if I am going to do this, my first thing that I have to deal with here is I still have to deal with the leveraging arm. The common principle is with the gun, I had to first deal with the leveraging arm and then get to the gun and deal with the gun. With the knife, guess what? I have to deal with the leveraging arm. But I want to go away from it if I possibly can. Now the problem here is I let him get a hold of me. If I let him get a hold of me, how far behind am I here? I'm way behind here. And I don't like this place that I'm in because he's going to not really want to let me go because this only comes a moment. He does not do this. He doesn't go like this and go, listen, man, I got problems with you and I am going to stab you with this knife now. That's just not how it goes. You guys have seen active self-protection videos. How it goes is this guy goes, wham, and that first one's coming in, so it's coming fast, right? So I got to learn to go fast. But of course, we train slow first so that we get good at it. So my first thing, if he gets a hold of me here, I'm in the worst case scenario. I would far rather, if I recognize what's coming, as he reaches out and he tries to get a hold of me, I want to get that hand off me. Now, margin for victory, right? attitude, awareness, logic, margin, and simplicity. So again, that first logic and the margin says if I can keep him from getting the hand on me, I'm in a better space. So I'm like, hey man, I don't want any problems with you. Dude reaches his hand out, whoa. And again, if I hit him with the forearm and just push this way up here, okay, now that is that knife a problem to me right now?
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay, cool. Maybe I pop him in the side of the head. Maybe I kick him in the nuts, whatever. And then I'm at least in a fighting spot. Guess what? I have a gun now. And now we've turned this into a gunfight, and he don't like that gunfight, right? Okay. But if, God forbid, he gets a hold of me with that, he might get a hold of me. Now, listen, I'm telling you, what's going to happen, what I see happen here all the time, is we think we can do magic, mystical, ninja martial arts. And if you're a high-level black belt, you might be able to do magic, mystical, ninja martial arts. I'm not that good. See, this belt just means I can think. It doesn't mean that I'm any good at what I do. So that first thing that I want to talk about is as that stab comes in, if I grab a hold of this, guess what I've just done? I've cut my hands all to ribbons, right? So I see people all the time, they think they can like disarm this knife real fast, but the problem is this leveraging arm works two ways. I grab a hold of this and I go, no, I don't want you to do that. So then now he pushes because he wants to push away. So he pushes with the leveraging hand and pulls with the knife because he wants it back. No, let my freaking knife go. Oh, guess what just happened? I got my hands all cut up and I got another stab coming my way, okay? So instead of worrying about that, if that's in that spot, I'm going to go for a bicep tie. So as that comes in, bang, I just am reaching out here to get his bicep because he has to get close enough in order to stab me. Okay? So yes, this arm is long, but if he tries to keep me out where I can't do the bicep tie and stab me in the guts, guess what? He can't really reach. It's hard for him to reach, and then this is a long knife too, right? So again, if to buy me some time, I'm gonna go, whoa, man, and now he pulls back, and whoa, man. Guess what? The third time he's not gonna do that again. That's what I see all the time. I see 1, 2, and then when he pulls back a third time, and I go, whoa, man, and he goes up over the top and stabs me in the face. That's what tends to really happen, okay, when he has freedom of movement. So I recognize I only get 1 or 2, but I can potentially do something about that, right? So as I get that in there, if I can hit him here and get him to his face, you see what happens? He stops thinking about this knife for a second, and now I can do something. Now, I haven't really dealt with his arm yet, okay? So I can also, that bicep tie buys me a second that as he then pulls back and leverages me, now I can get outside him and get away from him. Now, the simple way to do that is I just grabbed a hold of his hand. And I just turned away from him. Now you notice here I'm just using my shoulder. Now watch what happens as he tries to reset and come around so he can stab me again. And I just go, no. And we're in a little happy dance here. Now I don't like his happy dance necessarily, but when you pressure test it at a 4, 5, 6, he'll move pretty quick. So you don't have all day, but this will give you a second, right? Because then what can happen from here is then I decide when it's time, I go bang, and I come back this way. And now at least I've got him off his kilter. Now, does this work great? No, pressure test it. Do some things. But what it'll do for you is give you a few options. Here's the basic big principles. If he gets his hand on me, I'm in a bad spot. And I have to recognize that I can bicep tie here, but I got to deal with this problem. Now, the other thing, yeah, I am carrying a gun. But guess what happens? He's stabbing the crap out of me here. Oh, no. And I'm going to go, wait, let me go and draw my gun. So guess what happens when I go to draw my gun? I start leaking. I don't have time. I have to get positional dominance, okay? I have to get to a place where that knife is not immediately deliverable before my gun even comes into play. So I got to deal with this. Bang, maybe I hit him in the face. I recognize, holy crap, I've only got a second here. If that gets him to let me go, and I can push him off me, get my gun in the fight, well, then so much the better, okay? So I'd much rather turn this into that fight. But you notice I gained positional dominance before I was able to do that. So big principle on the leveraging arm. With a knife, he's going to try to grab you. My big preference is to not let him grab me, work to the outside, push him off me, get my gun out, drive that gun into the fight and do my thing. If he gets a hold of me, and I'm in a bad spot, I'm fighting for my life here. I got to recognize that I can stop him. I can stop him with a wrist tie, but a wrist tie is very hard to get when somebody's actually trying to get after you hard. So I really like that bicep tie because I can slide anywhere through here. Catch that real quick. He's going to pull it back real fast. That's okay. Bang, it could at least get in the fight. And now we're in a fight with something rather than him continuing to stab me. Difference here, again, if I go to the gun and he has got the gun, again, he's going to use that to keep me at distance. And this is that one weird time that I got to move to the inside rather than to the outside because I got to get this gun away from me because if I don't, he's going to shoot me with it. So that's what the leveraging arm is all about. This is not everything about the leveraging arm. but it gives you a start so that you can train, so that you can do some things and have some ideas and with your training partner. So then what I would do at this point, if we were at home, and what I'm going to recommend you do, is now, I don't even have to need this. This could be a marker, right? I could go, well, we don't have one of those. I don't even have a marker in here, of course. But I don't have a rubber knife like this. God, don't do it with real ones. But maybe I've got, like I say, a marker or something that's non-threatening. The thing that I like about this, it's bendy, so it doesn't hurt anybody, but it's a good analog, right? So I go, all right, your turn. And I go, all right, so put your gun away and, whatever, you can drop it or put it away in your holster or whatever. And now it's his turn to work. And we're not working hard and fast. And I just go, all right, so I gave him that. Okay, I gave him a bicep tie. Now, okay, I'm going to do something else if you don't go somewhere, right? So, okay, so now he's got to do something here. One, better do something. There it was. You notice that second one, he caught me in the nose, and that would have been at least something to get me off him. And now he can get a hold of that firearm if he needs to. Okay, so if we went and wanted to do the other one, then he gets a couple turns, I get a couple turns. We can pressure test by going a little faster and a little harder with each other. Leveraging arm. It's an interesting tool. It's an interesting thing that we see in videos all the time. So I would recommend that you train and practice this stuff at home. Ricky, thanks for being with me and helping out, man.
Thank you.